civilizations built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and back with us this week is our friend, our co-host, OT1, Kylo Ren, Kenobi on his shirt there. OT, how you doing? Welcome back. You were busy last week. We're back this week to touch some. You'll be here for 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Then we'll figure things out. But how you doing, OT? Nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you too. Nice seeing everyone in the chat. Although only Dale has written right now. I'm doing fine. I've been having a relaxing day, so much so that I forgot to watch the Rings of Power episode.
Just remember like 2 minutes ago.
No, I remember logging on. I was like, as I was logging on, I was thinking about what we were going to talk about. And I was like, there's not really anything to. Oh, Rings of Power.
And for once, you cannot blame me that I didn't send you a show notes. I told you yesterday, when I talk about Rings of Power, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. No, because my plan was, I wasn't going to watch it yesterday. But my plan was to watch it today. And I was telling Alberto I was doing things in the morning. And then I got back here like an hour ago. So it would have been like the perfect slot of time to watch it. And I was like, no, I'm going to play Star Wars Outlaws for an hour because I completely forgot that I watched it.
Oh, man, I've watched it twice. So I'll speak for both of us when we get to there. I almost watched it a third time today, but I couldn't. We're at fall asleep. I mentioned last week my daughter's doing cross country, and we have to be places at 7 in the morning, which means I need to wake up at 5:30 and start driving. And then my son is doing basketball right after, so I'm beat. But we're here. Another Star Wars Saturday. And like you said, our friend Dale is here. So hi, Dale. Thanks for joining us today on this Star Wars journey. So for Dale and anyone else that might be joining us later or maybe watching, like this video, comment down below if you're watching this on the audio replay. And if it's your first time, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss great in-depth conversation about stuff we haven't watched yet. And audio podcast also, rating, review. You guys know, all that fun stuff. So I mentioned last week that we're trying to get the author for the Mace Windu The Glass Abyss book, Stephen Barnes, here on the show. Gotta send them some questions. I finished the book last week, or this past week, I should say. I got a few questions written. I gotta send them over there. But if you guys have 1 or 2 questions you wanna ask, you're burning questions about Mace Windu, DM me or something on Twitter, and I'll see if we can get them there. And hopefully we can get him here soon. So, Otte, you mentioned you've been playing Star Wars Outlaws. Tell us a little bit about it. I haven't played it yet. I'll play it at some point, like you say, in 2032 or something. I'll start playing it. But how's the game so far?
It's fun. It's kind of a clunky game. Like it, I think it's like it kind of looks like the Jedi Fallen Order game. Like it looks very similar aesthetically, but it controls so much different. It's a little bit more rigid. So I don't know. There's something about it that it feels weird to me. But I don't know. It's kind of fun, like having this Western / gangster story in Star Wars. Like at one point, someone was like, "Oh, you gotta go see this underboss from the Pikes," and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is The Godfather."
So are you playing are you playing the story, or are you just exploring the whole world?
No, I'm playing the story. If I start like exploring, I'll lose interest.
You'll never.
So yeah, I'm like super at the beginning of the game. But it's been interesting to see like that style of story, like this kid from nothing going up the ranks of this crime family or something. Like it's a fun take on Star Wars.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. Some people are having trouble with the spy element. Not the spy, the kind of
the stealth. I hate it.
The
like,
stealth.
I always just end up shooting people.
All right, but at some point I'll get it. I'll play it if it gets in the Game Pass or something. All right, so sad news, I guess, just to talk a little bit about it, mention it. Everyone knows the sad passing of James Earl Jones this week. We know him for, of course, voicing Darth Vader, Mufasa, The Sandlot. He was in one of the Conan the Barbarian movies I remember from way back when, and a bunch of other
Coming to
stuff.
America.
Coming to America, come on. King Zamunda. So sad news. But yeah, it's unfortunately it's the world we live in. It's coming to all of us, but it's sad to all these people that we grew up with now are starting to reach that age that it's going to pass, and it affects us as movie lovers, Star Wars lovers, people that talk about it here. So a big loss for everyone out there.
Yeah, I mean, he was Darth Vader and he was Mufasa, two very different father figures,
Right.
but both are larger than life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I was very sad when I read the news. Obviously, he was 93, like he was not a young man in any way. He had a long career, very, very big legacy, and yeah, it was just like sad, as you said, like these heroes that we've had. Like every time they share that picture of the original cast, and most of them are black and white. It's like
yeah, the force ghosts of all of them out there. Unfortunately, they keep adding here. So putting you on the spot a little bit, but is there kind of a James Earl Jones, it can be Star Wars, anything else, kind of moment that kind of comes out that you think about that? Oh yeah, that's Star Wars, I guess, kind of Darth Vader that kind of resonates with you. I know it's difficult to think about it, as I don't have one right now. I gotta think.
Like, so you're saying like out of Darth Vader role?
Whichever.
No, I'm thinking like non-Darth Vader. I think I don't love The Big Bang Theory. I don't really like it. But his cameo in that show is so legendary, and also Carrie Fisher shows up in that episode, so it's also funny. And he's James Earl Jones, so they're all like freaking out about it, and he's like, "Yeah, fucking awesome." So yeah, no, I think that moment is forever gonna be very legendary, and will always be mentioned like when they talk about his work, because it was just so huge.
Yeah, apart from all these Star Wars kind of remembrance out there, that was the one that a lot of people were sharing online this past week. Going away from Star Wars, to me, I mean, the Sandlot is very iconic, especially the character that he's playing. All the kids scared of him with a big dog behind the fence, and he's just this caring person there that loves baseball so much. And then, like you mentioned, I just remembered in Coming to America, playing this great king out there, going toe to toe with Eddie Murphy and all those Arsenio Hall, all those great characters. He just plays a great King Zamunda out there. So big loss, impossible shoes to fill. But we're glad that at least we were here to have him in this family, in this Star Wars.
It's amazing that we got him. Like he's like one of those iconic things from that first movie, and then he came back so many times that like. And each time I was like, okay, that's probably the last time. And then he came back, and then he came back. So, because he did Rebels, he did Rogue One.
Yeah. It's one of those. No, sorry, go ahead.
No, even in Revenge of the Sith, when that happened in the theater, I was like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, Darth Vader, we know there's so many actors that play Darth Vader, but the first that comes to my mind is James Earl Jones, that iconic voice. And like you said, we cannot take it for granted, but every time that it's confirmed that he's coming back, we all lose our minds. Like, oh yes, Darth Vader is back. Even for Rogue One, it's like, oh my God, after so many years, he's back even for a couple of minutes. It's great having him there.
Even in Rogue One, like, and again, it's like it's because of his legacy, but like I remember feeling like, okay, that's definitely James Earl Jones, but that's like a very old James Earl Jones. So I was like, okay, I think it's okay if they find someone else to do it. But every time he came back to do it, I think in Kenobi it was also him. Like, I'm not gonna be mad that he's here because it's almost and it's interesting because it's the same character, but like it's kind of like the same thing with Hayden Christensen. Do I want to Anakin Darth Vader show? No, but I'm not gonna complain if they do it because it's him.
There's so many talk, and we'll talk about Kenobi in a minute. But do we need more stories for that? Yeah, maybe not, but give it to me. And then now with the new Mufasa Lion King movie coming out, and I know I think he's not involved in it, but it's still gonna be emotional. I'm sure they're gonna have a tribute for him at some during the credits or something. That's gonna be extremely emotional.
And I was also gonna mention like my second favorite James Earl Jones like character is Mufasa. Like I
Yeah.
love The Lion King.
Hmm.
It's really, really one of my favorite movies. Um, and yeah, he's basically the voice of God. Like the king
Yeah.
stands ruler. Like oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's when yeah. I mean, we'll leave it there. It's just great. I mean, he
Also,
was great in it. Sad.
if you want to have a good laugh, there are videos where they have like Darth Vader scenes with
Mhm.
Mufasa's voice, like with the dialogue from The Lion
Yeah.
King, and it's pretty funny.
All right. I'll have to check that out. All right. So, lighter news and a happier news. Ewan McGregor got a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame this past week. I think Friday. I think it is Thursday or Friday. Uh, of course, Hayden Christensen was there to talk about him. It was a great. I follow everyone that was posting on it. Very emotional, also, and very well deserved. So, Ewan McGregor is a star next to Carrie Fisher. That was a surprise for a lot of
Oh,
people.
it's next to her.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
cool.
I think Carrie Fisher's on top. There's an empty one, and then Ewan McGregor right underneath. So,
That one's for Harrison Ford.
yep. And then, like you mentioned, like, oh, hey, the cases, if he comes back, then of course we'll take him. They asked, like they always say, if Ewan McGregor wants to do more Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he said, yeah, I think there's more story to tell between where we left in the TV show to when we meet him in A New Hope. And of course, the fandom went wild was, yes, yes, give us more, give us more. I'm like, I think I'm okay with it, but I won't be mad if come celebration time, oh, he's coming back for something else.
um, I of course have a very biased opinion on this. Like I desperately
I
want the
wonder why.
second season for Obi-Wan. Um,
Yeah.
like is it stretching it a little bit? Yeah. Do I care? No, not really. Like because for me that time in Tatooine was never sacred. Like I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah.
People sometimes act like those 19 years, like if they change that, that damages my childhood. It's like, come on, like Obi-Wan was allowed to have fun. It was 20 years.
And I think even the way the series ended with him kind of giving a lot of that role to Owen and to Beru, kind of, you can take care of him when I'm not here. He can go and have a side adventure for a couple of years, come back 10 years in between, but it can happen. Who's out there? I see someone else is in the chat.
Oh yes, Buck is in the chat. He's saying
Oh, my
Mufasa is
friend Bob.
easily the best dad character in Disney, and I agree.
Yeah,
And he's also saying Ewan Star is right next to Carrie Fisher. So,
yeah. All right.
um, no, I just want to say like I don't know what that show would be. Like I'm down for the reality home decoration show with him doing the hut, but I don't know. Like I'm down for whatever they come up with.
It
If they
doesn't
do
need to be a continuation of it. It can be a different show around that
10
time
years,
period.
10 years later, and he's
Yeah,
doing something else.
maybe it's the show about the path, right? Trying to find all the Jedi out, and he shows up for an episode or two. So we'll see.
Maybe word. Ooh, maybe word spreads out that he's out there, and someone
Mhm.
goes to Tatooine to find him, like
Yeah.
another Jedi who needs help.
And Vader's like, don't send me again. I need a break from
Uh,
this guy. Getting my ass kicked every time I run into him. I need to recuperate for a little bit. Send someone
yep.
else. All right. So if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars and Star Wars news.
Star Wars news.
All right. Sorry. There we go. Our first official news item is coming from in a recent interview, and I'll be honest, I don't know where this quote came from, but Jon Favreau talked about the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and some fans weren't too happy or too keen about the way he phrased his comments. And this is the part of the comment that is out there. He said, part of what we're setting out to do is to have something that rewards people who have been with the show since the beginning, been with Star Wars since the beginning. I didn't take too much of it. To me, it made sense. I said, of course, if you've been watching The Mandalorian for 3 seasons, we're going to reward those fans. And then I got some people wrote back to me, and one people will just write on Twitter or online anyway, was the second part where he says, oh, rewarding the fans have been with Star Wars at the beginning, and a lot of people took this as stop rewarding fans, give us a good story. We need to move away from the Skywalker saga and the original trilogy. We need new stuff. What are you doing? Are people overreacting, or do you understand where they're coming from? I think you said you hadn't read the quote. Me reading it to you, what are your initial thoughts on it?
Like, let's say Luke shows up.
Okay.
And let's say it's the coolest scene ever.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like when they did it in
season 2.
In season 2. You're gonna freak out in the theater just like me and just like everyone else. So like, get off the high horse. Like, and even if some of our friends think like that's like things like this, like I get it. Like I 100% agree. Star Wars needs to. And here's a person saying that we don't need another Obi-Wan show. I just want it, but like like I agree. We need to move Star Wars forward, but I don't know if the Mandalorian movie is the thing to do that. I don't know if Jon Favreau is a person to do that. Like I think he did what he was gonna do, and now he just wants to have fun.
When this Ewan McGregor comment came out and everyone was pushing for season 2 of Kenobi just to remove the character, I almost tweeted something out, but it was gonna be like too bitchy, I guess. It's like on one end we want to move away from the Skywalker saga, but on the other end we want to keep with those characters with Obi-Wan. It's like kind of pick a side. I understand you can say, well, Kenobi can tell a story away from Luke and all that stuff. But anyway, and to me, the Mandalorian from Favreau, even from season 1, he's been tying things to the original trilogy. He's mentioned how much he loves the original trilogy. We all freaked out when the little pole that they use in A New Hope to hold the trash compactor showed up on one side. Oh, look. We're in the cantina. Now it's a droid. Oh, because you remember, everyone was freaking out. But now we're at a point where hating the Mandalorian is what's fun, and hating Favreau and Filoni. So I think people are just, and of course this comes after the cancellation of the Acolyte, which was this something new in Star Wars. It's like you're canceling something new, giving us the old. So I understand why people are still a little bit kind of upset with Lucasfilm. But it doesn't surprise me that this is where the Mandalorian is gonna go, the movie. Because that's what we've been getting for 3 seasons. So to me, it's not a surprise that he said he's going to reward fans of The Mandalorian, and fans have been with Star Wars since the beginning, because that's him. He's been with Star Wars from the beginning, and this is what he's been doing for 3 or 4 years now. So I don't know why people are so salty about it.
And also, every single Star Wars everything calls back to the original movies in some way, shape, or form. Like everyone who comes into Star Wars is a fan of the original trilogy specifically. Like someone like Tony Gilroy, who we make this parody of him where he's this grumpy guy who doesn't care. He probably doesn't care, but he likes the original trilogy because they changed how movies are made. So everyone's a fan of that. So they're all always gonna call back. They're all always gonna connect in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So anyway, and it's difficult. We don't know the story. We saw some potato camera, a minute and a half. We don't know where it's going.
It was pretty cool.
It was pretty sweet. I still think that this is gonna be a lot of fun to watch on the big screen.
That scene with them falling on the walker and getting to the bottom, and then the AT-ATs are like on top of them. Like, that's cool. And maybe Luke shows up in his X-Wing and slices them in half.
Because season 2 of The Mandalorian is regarded as for most people, and I know Andor, a lot of will say that's better, but season 2 of The Mandalorian is regarded as the best season of Star Wars TV so far for a lot of people, especially in the 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, season 2. And I understand people didn't enjoy, or after the fact, the CGI Luke Skywalker instead of using the actual actor, which I agree. But everyone lost their freaking mind. And now, don't give me CGI Luke, which I don't want Luke in this movie. I don't think we need him. We'll see for this story. But I think Mandalorians, at that point, Lucasfilm needs a win. Indiana Jones didn't make all the money that they wanted. That movie cost $300 million, whatever it was. Mandalorian, it's what brought a lot of kind of casual fans into Star Wars. A lot of people, and they're just gonna see Baby Yoda and little Grogu and say, let's go watch the Baby Grogu movie. And that's what they need. They need to make money right now. And this seems like a sure bet, as long as it doesn't cost $300 million. And I think it's a good way to go on to bring us all back into the theaters for Star Wars.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
Just going to highlight real quick, Buck, what kind of agreeing with his comments. And exactly as I say, every story after the first one is fan service. They all built of the first one. You can't escape it. And exactly the comment he should be making. All right. So with that, we'll move to... That's our Star Wars news. That's our only Star Wars news. So we go to that part of the show. We talk about Star Wars and the television in Star Wars on TV, and I change it a little bit.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan.
Star Wars on TV.
Still a little bit long, but not as long as before.
No. We have someone new in the chat. Diego Arevalo. Hi, Diego.
Welcome, Diego. Hola. You're new. Thanks for joining us. You're just in
Getting
time.
sick.
You're getting sick. New people come in and
Yeah.
make you sick.
No, I'm getting sick as the show progresses.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that being on the show after a week off makes you sick. You're allergic. You spend too much time in Florida. If you're back in Puerto Rico, that change is the same type of weather. So don't complain. All right, okay, so we got brand new Star Wars. I forgot it was coming out this week. So Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. Lego has been doing great Star Wars special for the past couple of years. We got a Halloween one a couple of years ago. This one was 4 episodes. Each one is about 25 minutes. I think they would have worked better as a whole movie. Just put this out there as a Star Wars movie on Disney Plus. It's about an hour and 40 minutes. Each episode is just a continuation of the first one, so I think it will work better as a movie. But it's Star Wars Lego. They're fun, like we mentioned before. I know you, unfortunately, haven't had a chance to watch it, but are you excited when you get a chance? Are you thinking of watching it? Or you just want to hear me talk about it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes?
No, just talk about it. I have no intention to watch it.
All right. So you just check this chat. I think there's someone else new there. Or not new. Someone's been here before.
Greg C saying, "Hey guys, good to see you guys back online streaming. I missed you."
Thank you.
Hey, Greg C.
Thank you, Greg, for being here. We try to. There's not a lot to talk right now. All right, but anyway, Lego Star Wars. I enjoyed it. Like I said, Lego does some great Star Wars specials out there. I'll say the first episode to me took a little bit to get on. But I'm gonna say it's gonna be my fault. I've only watched the first trailer, and maybe I saw a clip or something. I thought this was gonna be a different kind of story, that something was gonna happen, the universe gets all thrown out of whack, and we were gonna see or have these new characters, Sig and Dev. These are these two brothers, and Jesse, nerf herders, which is funny. Some people working as nerf herders. And then they were going to be kind of interacting with scenes that we know in Star Wars. And then they're just going to be kind of different versions of scenes that we've seen already. And it wasn't that. It's its own story in its own way. And then the characters are different inside the Star Wars universe. So it's not like we go to the pod racing scene, for example, and Sebulba wins, or Darth Vader doesn't turn to the dark side. It's a different version of those characters. So I went with a different...
Wait, what do you mean?
It's basically, it's like a multiverse. It's not it's not a what if. It's not what if Darth Vader never turned to the dark side. It's not that. It's just... So these two brothers, Dev and Sig, one of them is force sensitive. They find a Jedi temple, a lost Jedi temple, and there's, of course, a magical Lego piece called the Cornerstone. It's glowing and all this stuff. They pull it out of the temple, and then the universe gets thrown out of whack, and a new galaxy is built. Okay. So the whole thing is he meets the Jedi Bobby Moynihan. He's very excited to be back in Star Wars. He's trying to help him. Okay, if we find another Jedi temple, we can put this cornerstone back, and then your galaxy can come back, and everything is back the way it was before. And the first episode is all the build-up. With just you learning who the new characters are, what the story is going to be. There's really not all the other Star Wars characters or these other versions. So then that comes to episode 2, 3, and 4.
On that line, Buck is saying, I really love that the special took its time to set up the new characters, and they really pay off the emotional journey throughout the story.
I think it's right. To me, since I thought it was going to be a different type of show, I was like, okay, I just want to see the fun Wookiee bounty hunter, whatever. I want to see something else. So this first episode to me was a little bit slow, but once I kind of figured, okay, they're telling a different type of story. It does work. It does have a lot of cool emotional connection, especially to the end. Everything in Star Wars is always a reveal. So these two brothers, when the galaxy gets rebuilt, kind of go separate ways. Or Sig, who's the one that's force sensitive, he doesn't change because he was inside the Jedi Temple. His brother Dev in this new galaxy is not his brother. They're not brothers, but Dev doesn't know about it. He goes by the name Darth Devastator because all the Star Wars Sith needs weird names like that. And he's trying to get the corner piece, this cornerstone, to basically destroy the galaxy or do whatever he wants. But the fun thing through it, we see Dark Ray, we see C-3PO is a bounty hunter, the Jawas are bounty hunters in their X-Wings that have the TIE Fighter cockpit. Beach Luke Skywalker is one of my favorite characters. So they go to Tatooine. There's water there. It's where is it? The Mos Eisley Marina Cantina. Everyone has a boat. The pod racing is over the ocean. Beach Luke seems like he should be in Barbie with all the other Lukes. And then we get all the other Sith. So Dark Ray, Dark Nobs, Dark Rostico.
Wait, Dark Nobs?
Darth Nobs is there. He comes right before Darth Jar Jar that we all saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
Darth Maul is there, but just as small. But he's dressed as Lando Calrissian with the scarf, the yellow shirt. It's like Lando in the Solo movie at the end. That has the yellow shirt with a black and white scarf. That's what Maul is wearing. And he's one of the good guys. That was pretty cool. Oh, when right before the universe kind of goes haywire, they show you scenes of all the different movies. And there was a funny joke. They're in The Last Jedi when they're in Crate. And, let me taste this white thing. Oh, salt. The universe kind of reorganizes. They do the same thing. Pepper. It's funny. It's a funny salt and pepper joke there. At the beginning, because Sig, he likes telling the Star Wars story to all the kids out there. And he's kind of recounting the sequel trilogy and talking about Luke Skywalker. Yeah, I'm cranky now. And this Luke just saying, I'm a cranky one now. And it's Mark Hamill doing the voices. Yeah. So the second episode is basically Sig and Jesse, who's this girl that both him and his brother are kind of eyeing in this new galaxy. She's part of the rebellion, but she kind of the Jar Jar that something happened and she's got ostracized. She kind of gave away the position of the rebel base. So it's the two of them with Jedi Bob trying to find the Jedi Temple to put the piece back together, while his brother, this Darth Devastator, and all the other Sith are after them, trying to get the piece for themselves. Clone troopers are Akbar, so every time they talk, it's everything. It's a trap, it's a trap, it's a trap. And all the clone troopers, it's so... let me see what else.
Yeah. It's so random.
It's very random. It's pretty cool because when the change happens and Dev or Sig doesn't know that it's a different galaxy, he sees clone troopers. He's like, clone troopers, you're not around at this time period. And then he sees that it's Akbar. No, you're one of the good guys. You're a rebel leader. Oh, rebel, you're a rebel. We got the Dark Falcon. Another funny part is Han Solo and Greedo are working together. They're flying Slave One. But Greedo is with Leia. It's not Han Solo. So Leia and Greedo are together. Don't spit out your water. And when Slave One or Fire Spray, when he pulls out and is about to fly off, two ears come out like Greedo ears. And the Slave One is green. It's almost like Greedo's face just flying away. And then on the other side, you have Jedi Sith or Jedi Master Sheev Palpatine, Jedi Darth Vader, Jedi Cat Bane, Jedi Jabba the Hutt. So all these evil guys are now Jedi, but they're not doing anything, just kind of hiding away.
Chilling there.
Jedi
Okay.
Lobot. Lobot is a Jedi. Han Solo turns out to be a traitor. And then through all this, yeah. So the whole thing is that the Sig wants to bring his galaxy back and want things to be the way they were before, but then it's revealed that what Jedi Bob has been telling him was a lie. There's no way to bring that galaxy back. Once the galaxy
wait. Please confirm. Jedi
Okay.
IG-11?
Yes.
Jedi Jana?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. A lot of these are not named. They're just there. And you need to know who they are. Yeah, Jedi
Grandmaster Sheev?
It's a Grandmaster. So Sheev Palpatine is there. He does say do it at one point. He hates everyone.
And he's a Jedi?
He's Yoda, basically, of the Jedi Council. We don't get a Jedi Council scene, but no, Yoda shows up and he's a good guy. It's kind of weird. I thought we were gonna put him as a bad guy.
No, but who's the bad guy then?
So these 6 brothers. So it's one of the new characters.
Oh,
that goes by Darth Devastator. He looks like Kylo Ren. If you don't know who's who, you think it's just Kylo Ren, especially with Darth Rey. Darth Rey and Darth Rostico are pretty cool because they just want to destroy the galaxy. And Dev is kind of going his own path. So by the beginning of the 4th episode, it's all the Sith, all this Darth Rey, Darth Rostico, Darth Nobs, and Darth Jar Jar fighting Darth Devastator. One of the emotional things that Buck was talking about is when they tell Sid that they can't bring his galaxy back, he won't have his brother again because his brother is evil and doesn't even know that it's his brother, his family, and everything he knew back home, all that is gone. They have to basically start over in this evil galaxy or in this parallel universe. So that took a while to kind of get that relationship back. But then by the end, let me get to where I am. There's a great space battle at the end, especially because all the spaceships are different. Like the Star Destroyers are part of the Rebellion, the X-Wings are from the Empire. So a pretty cool space battle. Oh, the Millennium Falcon, which is evil, that black one, from the radar dish is a Death Star laser, so just destroying everything from the Millennium Falcon. And yeah, basically by the end, so there's always the temptation, the dark side telling his brother, "Hey, join me. I'll be your brother, which is what you want. We can do the galaxy as the two of us always wanted. You have your family back, but you have to let Jedi Bob die because he lied to you and all this other stuff." But of course, he kind of say it's not what I want, it's what's better for the galaxy, so he doesn't help him. They find another Jedi temple, put the cornerstone piece back, and then that galaxy is kind of set. Like things won't change anymore, but it's still this older galaxy. The Darth Devastator is still out there. He's alive, so maybe there's going to be a sequel to this. And Darth Rey and Darth Rostico go to find someone. They say, we want to find this sick guy that he messed up our plans. And I hear you're the one that's going to help us. You can find anyone. And it's the Mandalorian, but it's the Landolorian. It takes the helmet out, and it's Lando Calrissian under the Mandalorian armor with a baby Yoda there. So cool reveal. Looked, I don't know if it was Billy D. Williams. It sounded like him. So that's kind of how it ends. So again, it was cool Lego story. I think it will work better as a whole, as a movie, instead of cutting it down into 4 episodes. It looks like they can do more with it. And I think now that I know what the story is, I might enjoy it more if I do a second rewatch. I just thought the story was going to be something else. And that's on me for not watching all the trailers or all the promotion out there.
Okay.
All right. I see there's a bunch of comments. Yeah, let me look through them because since you didn't watch it.
They were asking for Hondo, if Hondo was somewhere. But
Hondo,
no,
I don't remember seeing Hondo. He might have been there. Oh, and of course Darth Maul, Yoda and Grip. So there's what's her name? Give me 1 second. Jessie. So Jessie is this girl from the original planet or the real galaxy that C is kind of interested in. But in this new galaxy, she's a rebel spy or a rebel soldier. And unfortunately, she transmits where the rebel base is hidden. So they get a lot of them and put them in prison. Of course, they have the Narkina 5 jumpsuits. And that's where you have Yoda. You have Grievous. He doesn't do a lot, but he's one of the good guys. So he's there. Jesse gets captured. Maul is the one that comes and rescues them. Yeah, I didn't see Hondo. Like Buck was saying. Making Jana and Rose for sensitive was a stroke of genius. Just kind of works.
I mentioned that already.
Yeah, well, sorry. There's too many. All right. So, yeah, if you guys... Oh, I asked out there, my friend from Twitter, Petersor, at Petersor, I asked what favorite parts from the Lego episode. And Petersor said, Jedi Master Palpatine. Palpatine has always been my favorite Lego series character. He's always just so bonkers, and it's so damn funny how they twisted that on his head. It was fun. It was fun to see old Sheev there with all white, because they were wearing just all white robes.
That's the way you do it, Sheev.
Yeah. All right, so that's our thoughts on Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. These are always fun. Everyone out there loves them, so I'm pretty sure it's set up for a sequel. Even if it's 4 or 5 months from now or next year, they release 4 more episodes. I think it works. They left it open for more stories. All right, so now we go to that part of the show. We talk about something else that's not Star Wars in a world between fandoms. All right, Oti, world between fandoms. You just told us at the beginning you forgot, or let's say you didn't have the time to watch the newest episode of the Rings of Power.
I had the time, but it was a very short window, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, we'll give you the break. Since we don't want to spoil it for you, I know you'll check out. But just your thoughts on last week, episode 4, Eldest, is where we got Tom Bombadil finally in live action. We got more with the Harfoots. The Sturs came, and our favorite elf, Arondir and Isildur on their adventure.
I hate Theo so much. I think the show still hasn't hooked me.
Okay.
I still enjoy it. I look forward to watching the next episode, but I'm still like not like there with it.
Yeah.
It still looks great. It's still entertaining to watch. It's not like I'm watching it because I have to watch it for the show. I would still watch it if I wasn't discussing it. But I don't know. I think I'm missing a little bit of humph. But for example, that sequence with Galadriel and her crew, and at the end, Elrond being like, "Oh, she didn't do it to save us. She did it to save the ring." Like, oh, yeah. So yeah, I'm still liking it.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned it last time we talked about it. Like that Galadriel Elrond thing is my favorite of the whole show. And last week was great. Their scenes were great when they reached the broken bridge and kind of decide where are they going, and there are different visions of how to go through it. I'm not gonna take counsel from that ring. More death is going to come. But it's still me. And as much as Elrond hates the ring, he will still save or do whatever he needs for Galadriel and vice versa. Yeah. So I just love that relationship that they go toe to toe, but they still love each other so much. And I love Tom Bombadil. I want to get more with him. Hopefully we'll show up next week.
That was a super fun sequence. Because like, oh, who are you talking to? You're the only person here. Like,
yeah, you're here, right? It's the River Daughter. And we got the Ents and the Entwites with Winterbloom and Snaggleroot. That was a pretty nice scene also for Arondir to have to make amends for that tree that he had to cut down in season 1.
Yeah.
All right, if you need to check out.
Before I leave, I want to mention quickly, how do you feel about all maybe tidbits we're getting on the Lord of the Rings movie, the Gollum one. I know you're a big
It's
fan.
not
so-
enough. So it just because Ian McKellen said there's 2 movies. Some people are freaking out. How are you making 2 movies out of this? Let me see something. I love this world. I want to see it. I wasn't 100% like, yeah, like give me another movie, especially about the hunt for Gollum. I haven't read the story. I know there's parts of it out there. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to have an opinion at this point, but I'll watch it.
No,
Andy Serkis is a good director. He's not the greatest out there, but if it's a Gollum movie and in this world, and he was a second unit director for The Hobbit, say what you want about those movies. We talked here about why those movies turned out the way that they did. He's got more experience now directing, so I'll give it a shot.
Okay then. Bye, guys.
All right.
Bye, Albert.
Right.
I'll check
okay.
out the show and be ready next
If you
week.
have any questions again for Stephen Barnes, send them to me if you can this weekend. Whatever.
For what?
For Stephen Barnes, the author, The Glass Abyss. If you have questions, send them to me so I can.
The book I haven't read. Okay.
That's fine. It's maybe some Mace Windu questions. All right. We'll talk to you later, Otti. Thanks for being here.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys. So as we go, let me check. He's still there. So Greg is saying, I love it when I hate a character because the writing is good and the character has been developed really well. If I hate the character because it makes no sense, that's much different. And I do understand. I 100% agree. And there's a character in this episode or in this series, The Rings of Power, that I hate so much. We'll talk about him in a minute. It's called Kemen. Freaking Kemen and Eregion. I hate them so much. So anyway, guys, we're talking Rings of Power, episode 5. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, or if you don't care, stay here. If you want to watch it later, then go watch it and come back. We're going to be talking spoilers about it. We'll be quick. No, excuse me. So Halls of Stone is this 5th episode. We're already past the halfway point. Only 3 episodes left. It's a bummer that we got those 3 episodes drop at the beginning of the season because it's gone so fast. It's been 3 weeks. We already have only 3 episodes to go. I wish they would just do 1 episode drop so they can stretch the story so longer, because it feels like everything's been jam-packed, and it's because we only have 3 episodes so far, but it's been 5 hours of story, so it's really being developed. We just kind of feel a little bit rushed on it. But apart from, like I mentioned, I love everything with Galadriel, with Elrond, everything happening with the elves, and everything with the stranger. That's my favorite part. And my other part is Celebrimbor, Hellbrand, now Annatar. And this episode is full on Annatar manipulating Sauron, manipulating everyone masterfully. And I love those scenes. He's thanks, Greg. Thanks, love that you're here. Love that you love our show. So hopefully we'll catch you up next week when you come back or next time. So thanks, Greg. Take care. So it starts with Celebrimbor giving this speech to the elves. We made these great rings for the dwarves. Everything's great. And Annatar's there kind of like, dude, yeah. Oh, did I speak too much? Did I say too much? And yeah, I told you to say less. Like, we're not there yet. So, well, sure. It's this old married couple about giving praise to one another, just keeping things quiet. So I love that relationship. And then the conversation, because Annatar mentioned last time, and he mentioned he's really pushing this and this rings for men. We need to make rings for men because they're the ones that are really suffering. If we leave Middle Earth or we only help the elves and the dwarves, the men are the ones that are going to suffer. I've been to Númenor. I know how great it can be, but there's also dissident and there's things happening there that we need to help. And Celebrimbor was like, a lot of the problems that the humans have, it's brought on by their own. This is their fault. They're too corruptible. We really can't give them this power. And I understand, but we'll pick the best. We'll pick the best out there. You're right. We'll pick the best. We'll pick 9. And 9 kingdoms out there, and we'll treat them. We'll tell them how. And I love how he goes through all the names of the great men from the past. And all these names are from the Silmarillion. He mentions Beren, one of the greatest out there. And then Celebrimbor's like, dude, sorry, we can't. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, you're right. I'll do it myself. I'm like, there he goes. And he starts working on them by himself. again, manipulating everyone. They create by mistake this invisible ring that Berdania wears, and she's just going crazy, doesn't know what's happening. Then she visits and starts to, when Celebrimbor takes the ring off, about visiting this unseen world, this underworld, and the shadow covered in flames, and everyone is dying. And similar to a vision that King Gil Galad had when he pressed on that ring and he sees all the death and he sees Sauron there, the armor, again visiting this unseen world, which is it's Sauron. And she says, "Oh, this power, this darkness is here. It's been here all along." She's talking about Sauron. He turns that to blame Celebrimbor on her eyes to start again this manipulation, this descent from the elves, to maybe keep away from what Celebrimbor is saying and follow him more, because Celebrimbor is under too much pressure and we need to help him at the end. But he started sowing those seeds, and then when he's talking to her later and brings on Galadriel, oh, the way the light from the sun, whatever, shines on your hair, you just resemble Lady Galadriel. And she's like, oh, Lady Galadriel. So that was great. And when Celebrimbor was, oh, what did you did wrong? Why is this ring not working? Were you really as masterful, as perfect as you were before? That's when you're talking about the dwarven rings. But again, it's Annatar manipulating. He knows that he's not there, and it's Celebrimbor, and they say, "Oh, at least give us that one word of counsel that you can just tell us one thing." And he's right about to do it when he gets interrupted, but he knows he's got him. He's got him on the hook. It's that way. Even though I love Halbrand, I miss Halbrand, but I love that we're saying this version of Sauron, Annatar, the Lord of Gifts, but just being the great manipulator that Sauron always is. And if he even tells Celebrimbor, you might be great at crafting rings, or as a master crafter, you're not seeing where people are manipulating elements, you're not seeing where people are manipulating you. Talk about the dwarves and all that stuff. And it's him doing it. So it's kind of throwing what he's doing in their face and then just playing it backwards. So I love seeing all that. Oh, and before that, we get a shout out to the Lord of the Rings with the doors of Durin. Of course, speak, friend, and enter. We see the doors there, how they work. So a little call back or call forward, if you want, an Easter egg out there. And when they talk about there's trouble in the kingdom, I mean, trouble in the mines, trouble in the mountains. King Durin is corrupted by the ring already, using it to find where to dig, telling people they need to pay ring tribute. If he's going to give the other 6 rings to the other dwarven lords, they need to give in half of their profits. So this ring has really corrupted him, the way he reacts to Durin, the way he reacts to the dwarf master that makes all the what are the dwarf? I forgot, not Nori, Cory. I forgot the name of the other dwarf. And that scene when he's like notices that he doesn't have the ring and starts going crazy, almost like Bilbo in the real movies. Like, where's my ring? Where you took it? No, sir, you took it off. It's right there. You say it was heavy on your hand. Oh yeah. You're right. But it's already messing up with his mind. But then Durin goes to Celebrimbor to say what's happening, that the rings are corrupting his father. There's something wrong with them. He said, no, they're perfect. We did them the same way. And Durin's like, okay, but it's the guy that did it the same. He did something different, talking about Annatar. And that's when Celebrimbor confronts Annatar. Hey, did you do something to the rings to make it different? He's like, no, I didn't. We did. Like that letter that I made you send. He doesn't say that, but he made Celebrimbor send a letter to Gil Galad because he lied to him, saying that they were going to shut down the forge, don't do anything else, so we got to do it our own. You lied on your letter to Gil Galad, saying that you have finished, they weren't doing anything else, so we put that lie into it, we corrupted it, so that's then bringing that problem to the ring, so we need to fix it. And the only way to fix the problem that we did for the dwarven rings is by making these 9 rings for men, perfection of the 3 and then somehow fix the corruption of the 7, which is a great theme. It's something great to think about. We're going to use these 9 rings, do what worked with those 3 before, the perfection of the Elven rings, and then use these 9 rings to fix or to balance what went wrong with the 7 Dwarven rings, which is a great kind of thing to put out there, a great notion. So I just love that. I love what's going on there in Eregion. Everything is going to Eregion. We know the orcs, are going to Eregion. So a lot of the action right now has been happening in that Elven place. So can't wait to see what's going to happen there in the next 3 episodes. I think next episode is going to be a big one. Same with the mountains. Disa was rock chanting out there when she lost one of her singing stone or tuning stone that she just bought for 150 credits. And there's a creature, an ancient creature calling back, basically, which we expect is going to be the Balrog. We saw the Balrog in season 1. We've seen the Balrogs in the trailer, or the Balrog in the trailer for season 2. So it's going to show up again. I don't think it will be similar to season 1. It'll be a quick scene. I don't think that the Balrog is coming in to knock down the mine. So I think it'll just be there for 1 or 2 scenes. Nothing big, but I just want to see him because one of my favorite creatures in Middle-earth. Númenor crumbles, man. Freaking Númenor. Dude, forget about Sauron. Forget about the orcs or the Balrogs. Forget about Adar. The biggest villain, the biggest haters in Middle-earth, the worst couple ever, Kemen and Eregion, man. They are the worst, and I'll go to them in a minute. But man, I hate it. I really hate it. I didn't like them in season 1, especially Kemen. Season 2 so far, it's like, oh man, get these guys out of here. So to what Greg's point was about characters that you love to hate. These are them, but I don't love to hate them. I just hate them. And not because they're bad characters, badly written. They're just characters that I hate because of their actions. But I love Farazon. I love Farazon in season 1. I love the politics in Númenor and the politics in Rings of Power. We're used to, in kind of fantasy world, talking more politics in House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, where you have all these different houses sort of vying for power and all the chess pieces. This is just one little kingdom, one family basically just fighting over that one power. And because they're cousins, they're Miriel, King Miriel, and Farazon are cousins. So we know what happened last week or 2 weeks ago. The eagle comes out, and then whatever his name is starts chanting Farazon, and that kind of builds up, and he gets power. So now's the king, but that's not enough for him. This is the only thing I'll give Cameron when he comes in. I thought, you have the scepter, that's what you always wanted. And Farazon like, yeah, I thought that's what I always wanted, but look across the Heresy, you see the white tower that leads to the Undying Lands. They're mocking us. The elves out there mocking us because they're gonna live forever while we wither out and die. So he wants more. He wants to go out there and do something against the elves. But then sends this, he's a worst parent ever. Sending Kevin, say, hey, your mother told me this story or this vision that you're gonna be the end of me, or you're gonna do something that's gonna cause a lot of trouble. I can't remember exactly, but basically saying, you gotta do this for me, or you're gonna be the end of me. I'm gonna disown you, basically. So you gotta do something for me. Then we find out, first start stripping people of ranks, and this is where I started hating Kemen and Eregion. When Elendil, which my captain is walking through Númenor, sees Valandil and everyone else in line having to give up their Sea Guard uniforms and their weapons. Oh, why do I? Oh, the new king doesn't. It's if you're loyal to Eregion, to Miriel, you're not part of the Sea Guard anymore. Oh, whose authority? And then the camera changes. The two of them just came in, and Eregion, just standing there, smug face. I just want to slap both of them. But we had a great scene right before between Elendil and Miriel, when Miriel is telling him, this is part of the new. You didn't, when you touched the Palantir, you didn't see Númenor falling, Númenor breaking away. That's what I saw. Maybe this is foreseen. This is gonna change that path. So you need to be the calm in the storm side. Don't let them goad you into fighting. Don't just hold back. You need to be strong for us, so Númenor doesn't fall. But they keep pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. But they go to get that great power and say, "Oh, thank you, Captain." Oh, it's not your captain anymore. And he gives up his sword. But then Valandil steps up. We say Captain off deck. Captain leaving deck. That was a great great thing to say there, to acknowledge everything that Elendil has done for them. Everyone else comes, my captain. He feels that love for them. But it goes to that part later on where they're just saying from their prayers and their memory, and everyone just putting the little boats with the candle flame just going out to the sea, to the river. And freaking Kemen comes in with the guards to just break everything apart. This is the land of the faithful. I know that's faithful to the old ways, to the elves. And then just start chaos, breaks that poor guy's statue. Is gonna help, I believe, his wife be able to get to the other world. Breaks it, and then the fight starts. And Elendil slaps the crap out of him. Valandil stops Kemen, which Kemen's gonna punch him out. And then freaking Kemen almost drowns Valandil. I'm like, Kemen can't drown Valandil. Well, it's too strong for him. But at that point, I was scared. It was shot beautifully, or beautiful is not the way to say it. It was very emotionally distraught in that part. Push him off. Has his sword to his neck. Like Valandil has his sword to Kemen's neck. When Elendil says, "Put it down, son," I thought it was gonna go to, "You're not my captain anymore," or something like that, and then kill him. But yes, my captain. Throws the sword down, starts walking away, and then the freaking sword comes out from his back or through his chest. Freaking Kemen backstabs him, like literally backstabs him, and he became the most hated. Littlefinger, all those guys, I hate him. He's one of the worst. So I don't know what to do with that guy anymore. Sorry. So yeah, Valandil's death was a gut punch. I was not expecting it. His character has grown on me since season 1. That back and forth he had with Isildur in season 1, where he had to fight every single day to be chosen for the Sea Guard, and Isildur got everything handed to him, but he didn't want it anyway. To how they reconcile later on in season 1, both of them go to Middle Earth, fighting that war. He leaves believing that Isildur is dead, to now having been killed by freaking Kemen, standing up or standing next side by side with Isildur's father, with Elendil, who just called him son. He has that relationship. Also, Elendil thinks his son is dead. His other son, we don't even know where he is. His daughter is a traitor in his eyes, so he has no one. It's the only connection he has, and gets killed in front of him. Freaking Kemen watches his bloody sword on the water where the faithful are praying and worshiping, and then blames them. Oh, tell them that they started the riot. It's like, freaking Jesus, Kemen, I hate you so much. So everything's going to a head in Númenor. Can't wait to see where that ends. And then finally, I love Elrond just running when Gil-galad is talking with the other elves, trying to figure out what to do. Are they sending help to Eregion? Are they sending their army to Mordor to fight Sauron? They don't know where they are. Elrond is just sprinting like a crazy elf, and finally gets there. Say, "Hey, we saw them. The orcs are heading to Eregion. There's our elven land right now here in Middle Earth. We need to save them. We gotta go over there." He's like, we can't beat both Adar and Sauron alone. And it kind of ends there. And we see orcs right outside Eregion. Galadriel and Adar have a conversation that Adar's like, "You're not here as my prisoner. We're here. I need you to help me fight a common enemy." So even though, like Oti mentioned, it's taking a little bit to get there. Maybe not everyone is connected with the story. Maybe it took too long. We'll see. Like these next 3 episodes where everything's going to finally come to a head. I think everyone it's where they're supposed to be. Annatar, Celebrimbo are working on the 9 rings. We know the dwarves are going to be involved with what's going there, with what's happening with King Durin, with Kilgalad saying that they can't beat the orcs and Aldanzar alone. We know that Elrond is going to go find Prince Durin to have the dwarves help the elves in this battle. We know Galadriel is there, so all the big players are there. The only thing is Númenor is different. I thought we'll see if Númenor is not sending anyone to Middle Earth. I don't know if Elendil and maybe Miro kind of escape the fall of Númenor and head to Middle Earth and hopefully find Isildur. That's the only thing we'll see. We know how or when Isildur and Arondir reach Eregion to fight in that part of the battle. This is probably going to be 2 episodes from now. Then the other big question is the stranger with Tom Bombadil, and of course Nori with the Stoors. That's the only thing that's kind of away from this, and they've always been away from that main part of that big battle. Same thing was with season 1. Even though we had Tom Bombadil and the stranger, wink wink, Gandalf talk about, do I need to fight the Dark Wizard and Sauron? You need to fight both. So we'll see how that happens on that end. A lot of next episode will most likely be that part. But I think the battle at Eregion is starting next week. And we've heard from all the creators and the showrunners that this big battle is going to last for a couple episodes. It wouldn't surprise me if midway to last kind of third of next week episode, the battle starts at Eregion and it goes for the next 2 episodes after that. All right. So I really enjoyed the show. I think season 1 so far, I connected with it quicker, but I think now all the pieces are set for the remainder of the series. Only 3 episodes left. So sad it's going to end so quickly or so soon, but we're almost there. All right, so that brings an end to our talk on the Rings of Power, and also brings an end to our talk in general today for Star Wars, for everything. So thank you to everyone that joined us today. Thanks for the Audrey that was here a little bit earlier. He'll cut out the episode. And then we talked about it. That's fine. Audrey, we love you. Thanks for being here. Thanks to our friends that joined us in the chat. Greg, Dale, Buck, our new friend. I'm not going to miss it. Where is it? Diego Arevalo. Thanks for joining us today. If I miss anyone or anyone that was out there watching and couldn't get in the chat, doesn't matter. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be back next week. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And like I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to be interviewing Stephen Barnes, the author of the Mace Window, the Glass Abyss novel that comes out in October. So if you have any questions that you want to ask a Star Wars author, let us know. DM me at Radio Rebel Pod, and I'll see if I can add it to our conversation. So thank you guys. See you next week. Stay safe. Be safe. And may the Force be with you.